DQ, a luxury redefined brand.
Alcazar watches, luxury you can wear.
Hi, here with me today is Miss Glam Universe 2025, Neha Balqiz. Hi Neha. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm great. So Neha, how did you get into pageantry?
I got into pageantry through my mom. So one day she just called me up and she was like, there's a pageant happening. Do you want to try it out? And as someone who never considered pageantry, she was very supportive in making me take that first initial step into pageantry.
Okay, and what are some of the hobbies or passions that you have?
Well, other than the classic dancing, reading, I am a big otaku, which means someone who loves to watch anime.
Oh,
I also read manhwas. And I am also a big movie buff because one of my passions is acting. So I'm a big Lalaiten fan.
And Neha, do you have any mentors or friends in the industry?
Well, to be honest, when I started out, I didn't know anybody in the industry. However, once I got into the pageantry, I met Dalu Krishnadas, and he is my mentor. And he kind of held my hand through this journey, and I'm super grateful for him.
And once you got into the pageantry, how was the grooming days experience and all?
It was actually surprisingly really cool because, as the first time, I wasn't aware on how things would be in the, 7 days of grooming. And, it felt like we were all a part of a family and it didn't really feel like competition, which I really loved. And I think a huge part of that is thanks to Pegasus because they made sure that there were events where we could interact and kind of bond over our sisterhood and not just see each other as fellow contestants.
And how did you feel during the days leading up to the pageant?
Really nervous because in my head it was like it's my first pageant. I'm with girls who have been doing this, some of them from the age of 8, and I was super inexperienced. And even in terms of the gowns I got, I felt super unprepared. So it was very stressful, but I don't know, somehow I managed.
Did you have to make drastic changes in your routine?
Yeah, definitely. So I am a big foodie, especially desserts. I have a huge sweet tooth. So the first thing that I did when I got into this pageant is I just stopped eating desserts. And I was like, I'm sucker for tiramisu, tres leches. And I was like, you know what? For a few days, I'm going to hold off it because I don't want to look like a balloon on stage. So I was like, okay. So first thing was diet treatment. Yeah. And that kind of paved my way into discipline. And I was able to learn a new skill thanks to that.
Yeah. And your skincare, workout, all of that?
Yeah, I've always been a big skincare girly, Korean skincare to be more exact. But yeah, I definitely started working out again because I realized that one of the ways that I can improve myself and feel good about myself is if I take care of my body. So I feel like pageantry has not just given me a crown, but also certain lifestyle changes that I will keep with myself for a really long time.
Okay, so Neha, what's been the most challenging aspects of preparing for this pageant?
I think one of the most challenging aspects was kind of getting over my self-doubt. Because as someone who has never done pageants before, there were these really big questions in my head, will I be able to do it? Am I fit for this? But and I remember how I had an emotional breakdown one day before the pageant. And I was able to get out of it because I kind of sat down and I was like, you know what, you're in this. So focus on yourself. Don't look at anybody else and be the best version of yourself on that stage. And that's what I did.
And during the pageant, how did you manage stress to stay confident on the stage?
That I did by literally self-talk. That's what I do. I always give myself a pep talk. I think it's an only child thing, talking to yourself. So I'd always sit myself down. I'd be like, okay, what's your issue? How can we solve it? So it's basically just brainstorming and coming up with a solution.
Okay, so I've heard that pageants help people refine their inner beauty and awareness. Do you agree with that?
I do agree because in my pageant journey, I was able to hone my personality skills, my communication. I'm someone who tends to talk really fast. So I always take extra effort to talk slowly, with more pronunciation, with enunciation. And I think pageants definitely helped me get here. At the same time, I feel like pageants also help to kind of make you a better person because you find these other women and you're able to work through it and see them for who they are and not have a competitive spirit and, just appreciate other women.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
can you share some tips you have for newbies in pageantry?
My first tip is to just focus on yourself. It's very important that you don't look around yourself and just try to make you a better version of yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's not the crown that matters. It's the cost behind the crown and how bad you want it. So the best thing out of a pageant that you could take home with you is the sisterhood. Try to make more friends, try to make memories, try to have the best time ever so that even on that stage, if you're not able to make it, at the end of the day, you've made some solid connections.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how was your experience with Pegasus been working with them?
I think this has been one of the most wonderful events I've been a part of because Pegasus made sure that we were all having fun. They took steps to make sure that we were not just contestants, but rather we were sisters who had the time to learn about each other and be there for each other. Because I still remember how during the finale, I was in backstage and I was having a little meltdown and my friends were there for me, and at that moment it was like, it's not a competition. It's one of your friends who need a shoulder to rest on. And I think that happened thanks to Pegasus.
Neha, is there like a cause that you feel deeply passionate about? A social issue?
A social issue that I feel deeply passionate about is the violence against women, be it acid attacks, domestic violence, dowry abuses, or sexual assaults. I feel like these are not isolated crimes, but they reflect a deeper crisis in society, which is a world that has forgotten empathy and accountability. And I think it's high time that we strengthened our legal systems and took measures to teach the young generation values such as consent, respect, and empathy. Because, equality is not a privilege, it's a right. And I think we need to see each other with the eyes of humanity and not as a separate entity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Neha, and all
Thank
the
you.
best for your future.